Hey guys, real quick, write this down. August 16th, 2025, we're going to be doing an IMNerd 1K tournament, which is free for everybody in our party member or higher tier on Patreon. This is going to be an Edison format.
Real Edison format.
That's right. Real Edison format, not the fake one. We're going to be playing real Edison format. The tournament is going to be Swiss, 50-minute rounds, no BS. And you guys know how I am. I pay out cash money straight to your PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, whatever you got. We will send you your cash that day of the tournament. But yeah, we're doing a 1K. This is just like an appreciation for all the people who have been rocking with us for a while, supporting us at the highest levels. The people in the party member and higher tiers, you guys don't have to worry. If you're already in that tier, by the way, you don't have to do anything. You are already listed as a person that can participate. And for people who have no idea what we're talking about, this is what the Patreon looks like if you go to it right now, if you are not a member already. Basically, what it's going to show you is that it grants entry to the IMNerd 1K tournament. So if you're in a party member, main character, optional boss, all of these give it to you, like no matter which one you join. If you are a free member, you can upgrade to the party member tier. If you are an NPC, you can upgrade to the party member tier. So just check out Patreon for that. It should be really simple.
So yeah, it's the middle of August, the 16th. It's hot outside. Turn your AC on, drink some water, play some Yu-Gi-Oh, and make some money.
There you go. And with that being said, enjoy today's video. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm here today with YCS champion, ARG champion, and Edison top player. He has 3 tops this year already, off to the hottest streak. Marcus Hayden, shout out to him and Metaphos, his YouTube channel. Definitely subscribe to that. How are you feeling today, Marcus?
Feeling good, man. Excited to be here. Excited to talk about some frogs. I mean, you're one of the godfathers of this deck, so
Yes,
being invited
indeed
on here is honestly such a nice thing. I feel very honored.
Yeah, I love having you. We've been friends for over 10 years. I knew you before you were a YCS champion, and I got to witness that. We topped that tournament together where you ended up winning the YCS. That was awesome. And yeah, everything happens for a reason. So I love that you have now, this year alone in 2025, you've topped with Vayu, Black Wings, and now Hero Frogs, all 3 of the big 3 decks. And I think that any skilled player can literally do just that. I think we see other players like Cairo, he top Diva Hero, Blackwing, Vayu. Like a lot of people are able to, like the top players are able to just like play multiple different decks and get results with them, and you're one of them. So I'm really happy that you're seeing a lot of success this year, but this is probably the talk of the town right now because we already had a lot of discussion between malicious and no malicious in the Hero Frog deck. I'm a firm believer that malicious is just not good. I do not like it. I think that like you can play it obviously and you can see success with it, but I think that your deck is blatantly just a little bit worse than playing the 5 heroes for multiple reasons. Right. And again, we don't have to talk about that. I already did that with 10-foot a little bit, but like malicious, and you know what, I'm gonna have a whole separate episode on malicious. I'm just gonna have a separate episode on malicious. Yeah, I'm gonna bring somebody on for the malicious one. Maybe I'll bring you and 10-foot in for the malicious one. I don't know, we'll talk about, because all 3 of us believe in the malicious, but maybe I should find someone who actually likes malicious and have them argue for it. But for today, we're mainly going to be focusing on spiritual water art. So this is your deck list that you just got top 8 with at the RBET in Indianapolis, was it?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay, so you got top 8. Congrats on that. You're playing the Chicago list. The guys like Dirk Wagner made this list with his group. Is Dirk Wagner's deck, Nick Wagner, and RJ. They've been playing this build for honestly years, I feel like, and no one knew exactly what their list was because they didn't do deck profiles. They were just like not letting it be public. So the public didn't know what the deck, maybe people who knew like if they went to a Chicago monthly and they played it, you have their physical deck list, you can like get inside information that way. But the public had no idea. Konami decided this year that they were going to start posting deck lists for Ultimate Time Wizard on their website, something that just came out of nowhere. So then their list got revealed to the world, and I made videos on it. Other people have made videos on it, and now people are testing it out. You took out the 2 deep prisons from their deck list, and you just added in 2 spiritual water arts, and then you topped the RBET with that. Why spiritual water art over deep prison?
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, like you said, it's only 2 card difference main deck, and then I think I made like 4 or 5 side changes. But in terms of the water art, when I was playing the deck with deep prisons, I felt like the problem I had was with normal hero frogs, you're able to dupe block, and then they kind of have to have the insane bombs to like break the dupe block and kill you in the same turn.
Right.
In this build, I felt like just a Dark Arm Dragon could like end the game. Because yeah, I mean, prison doesn't stop that card, and it's actually very vulnerable to cards like that, vulnerable to back row removal. So I really wanted to lean into like 2 things. 1, I wanted to prevent losing to the hard bombs as often, but 2, I wanted to do something that Hero Frogs is already really good at and make my back row like chainable good cards that won't give value to like cards like MST and Heavy, because the amount, or even like a Raikou, because the amount of times I even set like a Treeborn and a Water Art to bait a Raikou out and then rip a card from hand, or a Heavy out, rip a card from hand. That came up a few times as well. So
yeah. So funnily enough, I just recorded a video, a Teach Me How to Cook video with Tim Ponce, and he plays Junk Offering Frogs. which he just topped 2 weekends in a row. He topped the same tournament as you, I believe. And then he topped the RBT, and then he topped Deck Devastators this past weekend, which was like over 200 players online tournament, a super major, of course. We played against your exact deck in that Teach Me How to Cook. We literally just played against your exact deck list, card for card. So it was the Dupless Hero Frog deck, double Spiritual Water Art, and that duel was very interesting. I'm not going to spoil like all that happened, but we did get Water Art multiple times, and it was super annoying. Water Art is an amazing card because we already agreed that Dust Shoot is an amazing card. We think that Deck Dev is an amazing card. And then honestly, any card that sees your opponent's hand is pretty broken in the hands of a good player, because good players are going to always choose the right card to take. And then we can play around perfectly everything that your opponent has. So in theory, it makes perfect sense, but it is not without its faults, right?
Oh, for sure.
Water Art definitely has some faults. So one of the things that I do not like about Water Art, I do not like, obviously, if you're being pressured already, Water Art is really, really bad. And what I mean by that is very simple, is like your opponent has an Absolute Zero on the field, they have a Caius on the field, they have Black Wings just attacking you, Borashora, Gale, Sirocco, any of those guys just like running you down, and then you have Water Art. Obviously, that is not ideal. Also, going second with Water Art is a bit awkward too, because if you summon like Swap Frog or you set Treeborn Frog and you're setting Water Art with it, you leave yourself exposed also to just like being out-tempoed. Again, just like being pressured with Water Art can be a little awkward. And I'll let you respond obviously to all the things I'm saying in a second.
Yeah.
And then one of my most hated things, and this is the case with DD Crow as well, drawing it after the fact, right? So like your opponent drops the bomb, and then you draw Water Art as like a card that you draw off the top of your deck. So they have Dark Arm on the field, or they have like, return set already, or they have whatever it is, or whatever threat it is, it's already on the field. And then you see Water Art after, like against JD. And I'm not saying that D-Prison is any better, because like obviously drawing a D-Prison right there is not good either. But I'm also not saying that like D-Prison is better than Water Art. That is not the argument I'm making, because you took out the 2 D-Prisons, you put in 2 Water Arts. But there's also a chance that like another card could be played. Like no one's playing Econ, right? Like Econ could also just be fucking ridiculous against like a lot of the situations where if you have Water Art live, that's probably means that Econ's live too. Just like food for thought, just like a possibility there. But my main things about Water Art, I love it going first. It's very, very ideal going first, obviously. It's slightly awkward to me though that this build plays less water monsters than like a standard Hero Frog deck. There's no dupes, and there's no Unifrog in this build, and there's no Junk Synchron, which arguably combos really well with Water Art. So no Junk Synchron, no dupe frogs, no Unifrog, so less water targets overall. Now you do have the one Death Frog to kind of like, take out one dupe technically and replace it with a Death Frog is kind of like what this looks like, but then still is less water, like less water monsters overall. Do you ever find Water Art being like just straight up dead? Like I just cannot activate the card. Like I just have the card and I cannot activate it because I don't have a frog. So
I would say it's very rare when it's just straight up dead, because in this list also, you have to keep in mind, we're playing the 3 upstarts, the extra E-Call. So maybe turn 1, it will not be live as often as a normal Hero Frog deck, right? But the beauty about the card is I'm typically not trying to use it turn 1, believe it or not, unless I have like Swap plus Stratos access. It's the only time or if I hard draw Treeborn, I guess. But typically I'm not trying to do it turn 1. I'd rather like go for my setup, just like a normal Hero Frog deck would, because your opponent's not dropping their bombs turn 1 or 2 on you. And the beauty about Hero Frogs is they can't really commit to the board, because that's how your deck punishes them. So they kind of have to hold everything in their hand normally. Like good players tend to hold their cards against Hero Frogs and try to do an explosive push. Or, maybe if they have like, try to force you to put multiple cards on the board first, if that makes sense.
So you're saying that you do not go for Water Art turn 1 if you draw it?
I do if I draw Treeborn or if I draw Swap plus Stratos. But in every other case, like if I just drew Swap, I'm not normal dumping Treeborn and setting art. I'm normal dumping Treeborn and bouncing Swap to my hand. And I'm waiting because, so here, I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here really quickly.
No, please.
Yeah, so first off, I think the only frog variant that can truly play Water Art to its full potential is Hero Frogs. The reason for that is because you are able to do plays outside of tribute summoning your Treeborn, whether that's normaling a hero monster or normaling a Subsitoad or whatever it may be in that aspect. And a lot of times your turn 2 setup is like turn 1 swap, turn 2 normal summon a hero monster, right?
Yep.
So like it gives you the food for that. Secondly, I think Hero Frog can do this because it's one of the only decks that if your opponent does make a big push, right, and you get another turn, your deck is so good at cracking boards that you're able to crack the board and set the water art, and now it's a checkmate card. So I look at it a little bit differently because the deck's like, yes, it does suck as a top deck if you have nothing else. But the way Hero Frogs play, you're already so good at cracking boards that I'm not really worried about playing more cards into established boards, if that makes sense.
Fair enough.
I wanted unfair cards that prevented me from getting blown out, or I can use kind of like a Solemn Judgment where it's a checkmate card, while simultaneously being a chainable, working in some hands where they're dead. And believe it or not, the math on this, so yes, the math turn 1 compared to a normal frog deck is not great, but in my guide, I explain the math, and the amount of times Water Art's live turn 2 is, here, I'll pull it up really quickly, because I don't want to give you something false, but it is way higher than you would think.
That is live turn 2.
Yes, that it's live turn 2, and I'll also just give you turn 1 since I'll be in here anyways.
And I'll speak to something else too. I also realized this list, this Dupless Hero Frog list that was popularized by Dirk and his crew, they don't play 1-for-1 either. And so that's also one less card. Now, if you're not playing
Correct.
Junk Synchron, not playing 1-for-1 makes sense because I do think that like that's like a wombo combo, like Junk Synchron plus 1-for-1 is so broken. And Dupe Frog makes all of that even more insane because 1-for-1 isn't as important if you're not playing Dupe Frog, since you're not really ending on any benefit by leaving a sub on the field with a Dupe Frog where you can kind of spiral it out of control on the following turn. So not playing 1-for-1 makes sense. But interestingly enough, you know, playing water art with that's one less water technically with 1-for-1 being out the deck. And you could also argue like, well, you'd be going a lot of negs in one turn if you go activate 1-for-1, pitch a card, so you're down a card, and then you summon a monster like Substitute. Are you tributing it for Treeborn Frog outright and then setting water art? Because then like, you know, you're down to like 4 cards immediately if you do all of that. But just like food for thought in the 1-for-1 thing, because people were probably noticing like this list does not play 1-for-1, which is technically Substitute access or Frog access.
Right. No, exactly. That's very true. And so as I was saying previously, though, like this math is going to surprise you when going for your turn 2, assuming Water Art's one of your cards, right?
So when you say turn 2, you mean like you went second?
Oh no, I mean like you've on your second turn.
Okay.
So you've previously played a turn. So when you've seen 7 cards, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yep. I follow.
Your chances of seeing Water Art are actually or live Water Art are over 96%. So it's way higher than you would think.
And why is that?
Because of the triple upstart, the 3 searchers and the Stratos. And obviously a lot of that math isn't great math, right? Because a lot of that math is you searching Ocean and then committing an Ocean to the following turn to do a Water Art play.
Right. Which is not the worst. I'm not going to
sit here. Sure. Right. I'm just saying like, so it's not entirely dead, especially if, you know, let's say it was the worst possible hand. In that case, well then if you don't have the Frog engine, that means you have Monarchs, Miracles, Trap cards, so you're playing a slower game anyways, right? Like so it's not the best math, but it's very not like if you're playing based on the hand you have, you can make Water Art live is all I'm getting at.
So that's
pretty
fair.
much always.
So I'm going to count the water monsters. In the second row of this deck, there are 9 water monsters. Then there's 1 ocean in the top row, so there's 10. So that is 25% of the deck is water. But then you also have Rhoda, E-Call. So that's technically 13 if you just count like I can just get an ocean.
And Stratos, yep.
Well, Stratos.
So 14.
Stratos doesn't count because you can't water art the same turn that you summon Stratos, right?
Yeah, but if you had it in your opening hand, it searches the ocean and then.
Okay. Oh, you're saying okay. So this is again based on turn 2. If you go summon Stratos turn 1, now I have a live water art turn 2 to use with ocean. Okay, fair enough. So 14 out of 40 is
in a 37 card deck. So you play upstarts.
Yep, 37 card deck. You play upstart goblins. So that checks out to me. So you're saying like basically by the time you get to turn 2, your water art can be live. Now again, having it by turn 2 in Edison format, I don't know your experience versus like Value or some of the other decks that are like really, really ignorant. They can all just burst out so much damage so fast. Like I was actually testing against Gary yesterday, and he's a Value player, Gary Yu. He's won 2 RBTs. So he knows how to play Value very well. And a lot of the games, I swear, bro, they just come at you so crazy. Like Value is the most Value is the deck that you're going to play against the absolute most. It's also conveniently the deck that has the most bombs out of all decks in the format, I would say. Like, it is the most bomb heavy deck. Dark Arm, Return, Sorcerer, Burial, Brain Control, like everything. It has all the bombs in the format. And so in theory, like, Water Art really can mess up that deck, because taking away those bombs and seeing what bombs they do have left, if they even have any left, is really, really strong. And again, my only fear is like when you're getting pressured, a D Prison is gold. D Prison is like the most consistent card in the format. That is just like a fact. It is. You look at all the data from every tournament. D Prison is the card that is the most played in all of Top Cut of any tournament. It's the most played card in any actual tournament period, even outside of Top Cut. It's just like the overall best Edison card in the format, which is so crazy to think. Like, D Prison just overall performs the best across the board. But D Prison is really, really solid, and I understand why these guys decided, like, we're going to put D Prison in this deck. Summoning Stratos turn 1 and having a D Prison to back it is one of the absolute strongest plays in the game, because the only things that your opponent can really do are like summon Sirocco, summon Card Trooper, summon, let's say, Gale is also an option. Those things beat over it, or they have to commit like a Greffer plus a pitch to summon Armwing to attack over it. And all of those things just kind of like lose. Every single one of those things I just said loses the straight up just D Prison. Like, just like straight D Prison. And then the game just spirals out of control from there really quickly, especially if you searched Alias. It's just like so much fucking damage. Or if you just have follow up with like Toad or Swap Frog. But Water Art is really, really good, I think, against players who do the thing that you're saying, which is like they hold their cards and wait and all that stuff. And if you're saying you're using it on turn 2 a lot, which makes sense, is if you have it, turn 2 is live over 90-something% of the time, which is like 90. If people are saying 66 rounds up to 100, I'm going to say that 90 rounds up to 100. So you're not dealing with dead Water Arts basically ever. So I get that. Do you keep it in when you're going second blatantly? Like, after you win game 1, do you keep this card in when you're going second?
Yeah, it's definitely deck dependent for sure. In my experience, definitely against Vayu, 100% it stays in. It in my testing, it's been one of my favorite cards against that deck, because like, especially blind in a tournament, maybe it'll be different if everyone knows I'm on this deck playing this card. But if my opponents are setting Hamsters and Raikos turn 1, like, I don't care drawing this card second, even post side.
Yeah.
The issue is I fear that maybe it overperformed for me a little bit because no one was really expecting it at the tournament I played it in. But then I see how well it's doing in these online events already, in other variants of the deck.
Right, and other frog decks, right? Like, people are playing Aoi at Deck Devastators and they top with different decks. Icarus 89, I know, so Rawneck, obviously, first person I ever saw main deck Water Art in Edison format. He's been doing that for a long time in different builds. He has so many builds of frogs. So he's been playing Aoi in the main deck, and Icarus 89 won a major last year. I could probably find his deck list. He played triple. Like, no other traps yet.
In Hero Frog?
Yes. No, in just frogs.
Okay.
Because you were talking about you brought up other frog variants playing Water Art, right?
Yeah, I think my biggest issue with like a normal Tribute Frog deck playing triple Water Art is that means you're just deciding you're not doing anything else with your turn, because like they don't really have plays outside of tribute summoning. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so if
like,
you're getting rid of your Treeborn, it's just more awkward.
His list is a little bit different because he plays triple Soul Exchange and triple Econ. So that's not entirely true. If you look at, so he won this EWCQ 8 last year in August. 154 players, very respectable tournament. That's a major. Rawneck also has a bunch of lists. Obviously, I don't even have to pull them up. Rawneck has a bunch of lists playing Spiritual Water Art in the main deck. Water Art is annoying to play against for sure, and I still think that this exact deck list right here is very good. Maybe take out the Battle Faders because now we're in such a DDV meta, and that didn't really start until like later in the year when people started to really go crazy on the DDVs in the main deck. So I think he kind of like won right around the time where that was becoming super popular. These will probably come out and probably end up being Deep Prisons or something like that. Maybe some other trap, but like I do think that Water Art perform. You were saying Water Art. You saw it at Deck Devastators and the other frog decks that are not even Hero Frogs ended up topping, and they are playing Water Art. And I'm like, yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all, because this card has been honestly performing really well for a while, and people sided it anyway. Like I've sided it. It was okay. Ludo also won a major with Hero Frogs, and he sided it. I've seen the card be sided a lot, and having it in the main deck of Hero Frogs, like I get it, especially now that we're at the Dupless build that like is faster, so it technically sees it more often, it sees Dust Shoot more often, it sees all that more often. But I do think, yeah, this card is like, somebody said in the Frog channel, it's like our deck Devi. It's like our deck Devi. I don't think it's that broken, but like
that was me.
It's very good. Yeah, it is a very, very good card. That was you?
Yeah. Oh, I wasn't saying it's as good as deck Devi. My argument was we needed more like unfair cards, because I feel like in terms of being consistent, being able to do the thing it wants to do every game, Hero Frogs is really good at that, but it didn't, in my opinion, I didn't play enough unfair cards in the deck.
Yeah.
You kind of play a little bit more because you like to play the Future Fusion package and stuff. But yeah, especially with this build, right? Like I'm already neutering the power of Substitoad in this build. So like I was like, it's like Deep Prisons. I'm just playing a list of, because now Substitoad isn't really that unfair. Now it feels like Miracle Fusion is and Dust Shooter are my only unfair cards, maybe Brain too.
Yeah, and then Caiuses and Rises are annoying as hell. I consider Caiuses and Rises for free unfair cards. I feel like when you're not tributing a real card to summon them, they are fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, they're definitely high quality cards for sure. But I just, in my head, I was like, you know, it's kind of like Vayu. They already had so many bombs, and then they're also putting in DDV, so they're playing so many high variance strong cards. And in my head I was like, yeah, I mean, there are times this water art's not going to be like ideal. I'm going to top deck it in a very simplified game state like you were saying, and not want to use it because I'd rather tribute summon a monarch or whatever it is.
Yeah, whenever it conflicts, and I'm sure you've experienced the conflicting with your turn, like 100%. You've had turns when you drew so here's I wanted to say this too. One of the most common scenarios, and I bring up Vayu a lot because it's the deck I play against the most, but it's also the deck that I think that everybody should have a lot of experience against because it's the most popular deck in the format. So Vayu and Blackwings can both do this thing where you monarch them and then they do the next turn Goyo Guardian. It's like a common thing that they do. I call it the desperate value play. The desperate value play means all you did was summon a fucking monarch like a Caius, and they go Armageddonite, stack, make Goyo Guardian, and take it. That happens all the fucking time. If you played enough Yu-Gi-Oh, it's like one of the most I call it the desperate value play. They do it all the time. And I kind of laugh when I see them going for it because it's like, damn, you couldn't deal with a Caius or a Ryza. You had to stack your deck and set yourself back a turn to deal with just a monarch. But it happens all the time. Anyway, my point is, when you have water art in that scenario where you needed to monarch them, and then instead of having any other card like Deep Prison or whatever, and in this build it would be Deep Prison because that's what the originators played. I do like the option of being able to go summon monarch, set a trap that actually is a defensive trap. And so that's like one of the things that I could see being problematic with water art when you go monarch, because sometimes you are going to have to go monarch. Like, let's be real, you have 5 monarchs in your deck. You're not always going to be able to go summon back Treeborn and then spend a turn summoning Stratos so that you can get a water art off. That's not always going to be an option. You might need to actually go, I need to monarch this. And then I have the water art, which is like awkward. And I'm sure that comes up, so I'm just kind of bringing it up to be complete in our discussion of this whole thing. Do you feel like there are any drawbacks to water art besides the ones that I named?
It's definitely like the biggest thing is the thing you're naming, right? Like I think the most common time that exact line will come up is if my opponent has like a Greffer face up on the field and I feel obligated to like I have to Caius this thing. I can't allow it to sit another turn. So it's like, yes, the water art's going to sit in my hand. But the thing is like you said, the following turn they can like Goyo or you know, make some sort of synchro play, try to out your guy. And then it's like, depending, do I have another monarch? Do I have Miracle Fusion? Do I have Brain? Like there's a lot of scenarios where, like if I re-deal with the board again and then set water art for the Treeborn, it's fine. Or water art, like another cute interaction water art has is with Miracle Fusion, right? With Ab-Zero, like being able to write Geki on command and then rip a card. A lot of times too, you do it in a way where you're baiting a card first, right? Like, let's say you attack with Deep Prison. Your Ab-Zero is already going to wipe the board, but now you get the value of, you get to put the hero water monster into the graveyard instead and rip a card from their hand. So like, it has its merits. Yeah, it definitely has its merits. But yeah, I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's never going to be dead, because it is. There's also like frogs sometimes do have those slow starting hands, and you don't want to be holding a water art till turn 4. You know what I mean? Like I said, it could be live, but a lot of hands, I'll have a bunch of tributes and a Stratos. I don't want to search Ocean. I want to search Prodigy. You know what I mean? Like, so like, even though you can force it to be live, there are hands where your hand's just gonna has the tempo in a certain way that will not allow you to have the Prodigy, or have the water monster.
Yeah, I mean, I like the card a lot. Obviously, like we said, it's not without its issues. What was your record before Top Cut at the RBT?
I went 6-2, and both of my losses were actually to bombs against Vayu.
So you lost to Vayu twice.
Yeah, and I beat it twice and lost to it twice. Yeah.
Okay, so this is really bad. Not the turn 1 Dust Shoot against my draw and Substitoad.
Oh yeah, I guess this also messes with the math sometimes, right? Like if you go second and get Dust Shooted.
Or if you get fucking DDV'd.
Sure.
Even though I don't think that this deck is susceptible to DDV like that. In my testing, DDV is actually kind of like mid against it, if not just flat out bad.
Right.
But this, I mean, this is an example of like if we went first, and this is why I don't really care for water art in the main deck. I think that siding it when you go first. Oh, we're about to see everything I just talked about. Like we're about to see,
definitely.
we're about to experience. So you lost the 2 values in Swiss. Talk to me about those matches, because you were X2 and you made it in like some place that got top 16.
Yeah, I was the second highest X2, I think.
Okay.
So I lost to both my opponents that I lost to also topped the RBT.
Yep.
One of them.
What rounds too? What rounds?
Man, I think it was 5 and 6. Like they were back to back.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 6 and 7, something like that. But yeah, one of the guys, game 1, I remember having him like I'm up like 5 or 6 cards. I had water arted him. He is down to like 1 card and a draw for turn. He charges for Raikou, sets the Raikou. And I Caius it, and I put him in a spot where he's dead next turn. Oh, no, I don't Caius it. I lied. I have I normal Stratos. I already have Ryza on board. I punch it and force him to pop the Stratos because I attack with the Ryza. Otherwise, he's going to die because he's at like 15 or something. And then his Raikou mills 2 darks, putting him exactly at 3, and then he draws for turn and drops dad when I'm at 26. So yeah, that was just like the Raikou had to mill the exact amount of darks, and he had to draw the dad for turn because I knew his cards.
Yeah.
So that one sucked, and that was game 1 though. And then game 3 against him, I mirror force he goes Greffer, dump piece, send second piece, passes. I normal swap, bounce, set mirror force. He goes effect of Greffer again, dump piece, send piece, make 2 arm wings, attacks into mirror force, sets a back row, sets a Raikou. I draw, I bring back Treeborn, tribute it for Ryza, put the Raikou to top of deck, punch for 24, and then he draws, flips return, double pumps for 10,400 over 24 for game. Okay. So that was one of my losses.
Yep. Real quick.
Then,
so you said you keep, we're playing against value. You keep water art in, you said. We're going first this game. Water art in. So how should I side going first? We lost game 1.
Yeah, so this matchup, honestly, I already find extremely favorable. The way I side typically is I made my side deck guide, and it does have a couple change in the side deck. So for this matchup though, I take out the Des Frog, especially going first, because it's really only useful in this matchup for running over Greffer.
Yep.
And I take out 1 Upstart, and I put in Dupe and 1 Prison.
And is that it?
That's it.
Yep. This list, I noticed it too when I was testing it, is so strong against value that you don't really need to side against value. That's like, it's so outrageously strong against value.
Because it's like you said, the water art's kind of like a card you would side in for this matchup. So
yeah. Okay, so this is our turn 1. What are we doing, Marcus? This is a informal teach me how to cook right now.
Okay, informal teach me. So in this hand, I'm probably just going E-Call to start for Stratos.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yep. And then I'm going to summon it, and I'm going to search. You have the Prodigy. I'm probably adding the Maliage actually here.
Okay. Set mirror force pass.
And then, yep, correct. Yep.
I like it. Yeah, game 1 was unfortunate. That can just happen to any deck, basically. Where you lose to Dust Shoot is essentially all that happened. Like we just got Dust Shoot. We lost a die roll. If we won the die roll, we probably win that entire game because that substitute resolves that we have a Wood Art and 3 Monarchs. The game is fucking cooked for value. Like he has no shot. So that was literally an example of like a die roll game, but Water Art contributes to hands that lose to things like Dust Shoot is the thing.
No, for sure.
And since we're on the topic of Water Art. Okay, so here,
I'm greedy and I'm just monarching this, but
okay, you're still not going to go try to do like attacking in Water Art. You're just going to tribute.
Yeah, you're not really in any position where you're going to lose to a bomb right now. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Especially against Vayu, you got to play it a little bit differently than some other aggro decks.
All right. Well, obviously this is getting banished. All right, he takes 1,000.
Yep.
Would you set Water Art here? I know it's kind of tricky to like. Would you even do that?
Yeah, just because you don't have swap access anyways, you're not really locking yourself, and you can kind of turn it on at any point.
Fair enough. I like the follow-up we have with Prodigy and Malicious Edge to draw a card.
I agree.
So here, you can do that thing where you bait out. You can summon Ocean and just pass.
Yeah, you could to bait the Raikou, or if you just don't want them. I mean, you can also just get the extra draw because our hand quality isn't that great at the moment.
I kind of like Ocean right here, though. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I feel
let's try it.
Yeah, I kind of think that this is
baiting it and then hitting his best card in hand when he's only gonna have 4 cards in hand is definitely not bad, especially because we have the Mally follow-up play.
Perfect.
Yep. Yeah, just chain it, and now he can't even flip his Raikou. We'll still answer it. And it's great because like you're always gonna catch the Raikou, an MST, a heavy, you know what I mean? Even a Kaya sometimes. Yeah, I mean, we don't really care if he searches Greffer here, right? So I think you're just hitting the Armanite.
Oh, okay, we could also just hit the Rhoda and then because if we hit Armanite, he just searches the other Armanite.
I guess that does deck thin. I guess in my head I was thinking there's a possibility of them. Nah, yeah, you're right. Definitely do that.
Yeah.
I was thinking of possibility of playing 1, but that's only if it's on hybrid Blackwing.
Right.
But this is straight value.
Yeah, this is value for sure. This is deck heavy Knight. Okay. So, all right.
Yeah, you don't even give him the option. And if it is Raikou, he's just kind of forced to pass here, right?
Yep. Yeah, he's gonna.
Oh, he's committing to the board.
Yeah.
This feels wrong.
Yeah, I'm not an expert value player, but I mean, I think he's already kind of in a weird spot. We put him in a very weird spot. Okay, this is great. Also, I don't know about attacking right there, but
yeah, that's crazy. I'm not crazy enough.
All right.
Ah, beautiful.
So we know all he has is deck Devi. We could get our Treeborn set up this turn, or we could just go for the draw attack over this guy to guarantee kill it, and then set Regeki break.
Yeah, I think that's what I want to do and just get the extra draw. We don't have any Monarchs to, you know, get value off the Treeborn right now anyways.
Yep. Yeah. Let's just kill this thing. Oh, he's reading our cards for sure.
Yeah. You know, I'm almost thinking though, yeah, set it for sure. Okay. The question is though, are we gonna pop his set monster? Because turn 1 he set value, right?
Yeah, he did.
So I don't think it's a Raikou or anything.
Right.
But even if it is though, like we're gonna have to pop it preemptively, and then he has to draw a level 4 to answer our guy.
Yep.
And then he uses all the cards in his hand. I think we have to set it and use it preemptively, but let's see what we draw. I mean, we're gonna set this and see what we draw for sure.
You said use it preemptively. Preemptively meaning on his draw phase, right?
Yeah, only reason I say that is because if it's a Raikou and he forces us to use it there, then he's getting the swing over this, and we don't currently have an answer, but let's see what we draw in the end phase off of the Prodigy.
All right, let me do this.
That will influence it for sure. Oh, that's pretty nice.
That is really good. So decision-making time now. Are we preemptively popping this face-down monster or no?
I think we still are, to be honest.
You want to just like discard Duprog and pop it?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, okay.
Jesus. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. I was waiting from the change. I was waiting from the change phases, and
so then our intuition's probably right. That probably is like a Vayu, or like maybe even a Necro Gardener or something.
Yep. So okay, we can go summon Stratos here, or we can Caius. What do you want to do? I'm gonna play this. We only have one more target.
Yeah, we already Stratos, so we can only search our last target. This is where like the Rotos and E-calls are gonna be weird.
Yeah.
But like the only time it's weird is normally in games like this where you're already way ahead.
Yeah. Anyway, what do you want to do?
I think I'm going to normal the swap and just set up the Caius.
Okay, and I believe that this is a value.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, it is a Raikou.
Okay, that's crazy. So he's gonna take 25.
Okay, he takes big damage, big beef.
I just feel like he's in like such a bad spot now.
Yeah, I don't think he can win this game. Like, let's just start there. I do not think this game is winnable. DB is something.
DB is something.
Yeah, the water art really helped though, because like we saw his hand had Rhoda plus Armanite.
And deck dev, yeah.
Yep. All right, I'm gonna attack this.
Yeah, I think I would too. You don't even really care if he pops the back row.
Yeah, we're so healthy right now. We're so healthy that this doesn't matter.
And given the spot we're in, are you bouncing the swap and normaling the dupe?
I think so.
I think so too.
I'm not gonna use. So he has a lot of value now. I'm not really going to use his Duprog for anything, it looks like, this game.
Yeah, I don't think so either. And we actually want him to commit to the board because we have Caius. And plus, he has DDV, right?
Yep.
So, like, he's milled pretty nice, though. I think he milled a Necro in 2 pieces, right? Or is it 1 piece?
He did. He milled a Necro in 2 pieces. That's why denying Raikou from value just kills the deck. It makes the deck so like tame, which is why I agree with like our turn 1 where we attributed the Stratos to just Caius the face down monster. If you deny Vayu Turbo from actually getting off their flips, like their Raikos, the deck feels so much more fair.
Oh yeah, it's insane.
Because then he's drawing these cards. Like look at the cards he was about to draw.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like these are unplayable.
He has so much great manipulation. Okay, read swap effect. Yeah, I think one of the things with Vayu that makes it so good is it just has so many opportunities to get lucky in a game. And I think when you're playing against top levels of competition, right? Like if you and I both play near perfectly, but I have way more opportunities to get lucky, it's going to make the skill less important.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I mean, we obviously have really good technical play. Has been carrying us for like over a decade. So people just naturally are going to lose to a consistent deck like this. Like the deck is so consistent at what it does. This and Vayu, I think, are the two most consistent decks in terms of like hands. And so we just want to play the game and we want to have unfair cards. And so Water Art definitely helps to have the unfair card part. It doesn't help to play the game, obviously, but neither does Deep Prison. Deep Prison just prolongs the game. Yeah, Deep Prison just prolongs the game, but it doesn't give you like when he Heavy Storm just now, that would have been a Deep Prison and he would have just gotten value off of his Heavy Storm in our Ocean.
Right.
Take 22, is it? So we know he has deck Devi. I have, there's a Treeborn in the deck, isn't there?
There is, so probably is what we're adding.
Yeah.
He's set DDV, unknown in hand. Okay, it's just shotgunning it. Yeah. Sure. Now we turn into Alias Beatdown. I do think we bring back one of the Treeborns still, though.
I am. There's no reason not to.
And we have two. It's just solid defense against. That's the nice thing about Vayu too. So like sometimes I want to go to one Treeborn, but it's so nice against this matchup, just being able to freely use one as defense all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, Gary, he DDV'd me turn 1. Like I drew for turn, he DDV'd me, and I had Treeborn and a Caius and like other cards. And so like I just OD'd. He just lost that game so fast. Like it was the first game we played where I was using the Dupless build and he DDV'd me and was just like, God damn it. And I was like, the Treeborn fell to the grave, and I just brought it right back, and then just like, yeah, the game is, you're cooked. Like you're so cooked. Summon Caius, banish or Greffer, like wrap this shit up. Like we're done here.
Right. Yeah, it's weird. So in my tournament run, I only got DDV'd twice, if I'm being honest, but both times it only hit one card. It would have hit one card here, but we sided in the dupe
frog,
it got hit.
And we happened to draw it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, now he's thinking about how bad this Caius is about to rain. Reveal.
Yep. I don't even care that he knows. I still think I'm setting the red break. He already heavied, right?
I might Caius this. I don't want to be returned. Yeah, I don't want to be returned.
Oh, I like that. I like that actually a lot. See, you just got to be risk adverse.
Sure, I'll take that. All right.
Yeah, it's out of the way. I'm not scared anymore.
Yep. Because like the only thing that he can win with is return right now. Like I don't think this game is, by normal means, I do not think he's winning this game.
Okay. Yeah, he's just doing this for defense. Like, unless he set return, like why else would he do this play? It has to be return or burial, right?
Yeah,
it's dead. But that's our Raigeki break fodder now.
Yep, yeah, that's synergy right there. Okay. Yeah.
So like we're summoning the Caius regardless this turn, and if it's TT, like regardless, we're just killing this and not doing damage. So I think you have to summon
Caius.
Yeah, I think we have to do it preemptively. And you just do it on the back row.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, he stacked that card from his hand, so now he just loses. We set the ride break, and it's over.
Checkmate. Literally checkmate.
Nice.
Through a DDV. All right.
Yep.
Now we're going second. What are we doing?
And then going second, I swap out the Sidra for the Deep Prison. And I still don't know what's correct between Des and Dupe going second, if I'm being honest with you. But currently, I am keeping the Dupe in.
Okay. And we're keeping a Dushy too?
Yep.
All right.
Because even if they do the Greffer play in set 1, they still draw to 4.
Yep. Okay.
One of the cards I think I want to side specifically for this matchup, because it's so good going second, is Soul Exchange. But
I know Soul Exchange. Oh my god, we keep drawing that goddamn thing.
Yeah, we do.
So, but it would be Death Frog, so like it could be worse.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So we're just doing this.
Yep, doing the normal thing. Okay.
Yeah, definitely like having a double Treeborn.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's definitely pretty weird that in this matchup specifically, okay, I feel like when I play Vayu, I'm never setting cards like Necro early because I want to draw Greffer and like be able to do unfair stuff.
Right.
But yeah, one of the weird things about this list is it's so weird because in like your list or most Hero Frog list, Substitute is okay. Sure, we have Brain Caius. Substitute is just a god card, right?
Yep.
Like, and in this list, it's basically just a means to get Treeborn to grave and utilize swap bouncing.
Okay, Marcus, what's the play? Brain Control, Kaiku, Tribute for Caius?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. This is one of the rare cases where I don't attack first.
Yeah,
Let me
it
get
is.
that.
And if he doesn't bottomless, then we have the discard for swap play.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we didn't get
For me
bottomless.
personally, I think I'm discarding Treeborn for swap, bouncing the. Oh, actually, we have Rye Break. That makes this actually different.
Right.
Because like, if he didn't bottomless this, then my intuition is that it's like Mirror Force or Prison.
Yeah, one of the basic battle traps. Like there's 3 of them. 40% chance he had one.
So part of me wants to leave the Caius on board because he can't get over it in good fashion, especially with the cards he's shown us, and just set Rye Break. But then part of me wants to set up Caius because if he sets a monster right now, I want to be able to Caius it. What do you think?
Yeah, I want this Caius. I want this Caius because our hand is not very good. So you want to like Sarageki Break and pass?
Yeah, that's my initial mindset. The other play is discard Treeborn, summon swap, bounce Caius, normal dupe.
Okay, I like that one too. It's a lot of cards.
It is a lot of cards, but the dupe should recur a card.
I'm doing that priority. I'm not even sending with swap for
Yeah, no, I would too.
Yeah. So we're summoning.
We just like awkwardly drew dupe both times though.
Yeah, and then yeah, we can set the Regeki Break to like clear the way.
Yep.
All right, and Alias is a good pitch.
If we end up protecting the swap, it's super juiced. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't care to throw the Alias in grave.
Yeah, and then he has to attack Dupe Frog anyway, so like he will give us a
Committing
card.
2 monsters.
Yeah,
Right.
he will give us something. Okay, so he might go this route.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's not even
Oh,
pitching.
hopefully he commits to that plague.
There's no way. There's no way we get that lucky.
You never know.
I hope so. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's
The
doing
play.
it.
If he was really good, he'd summon the plague and attack with both monsters.
That's. I mean, yeah. Honestly,
Because you're
like,
losing to Mirror Force anyways, right?
Yeah,
So, like,
3 darks for what it's worth.
ooh, see if he gets rid of some more cards.
Are we getting returned or dark armed here? Like, what's the line here?
Possibly. If he pays for cost, we might want to hit the back row. Just the one. Ooh. What's in his grave?
He put himself at 4 darks.
Yeah, he did. It's got to be return or burial, but burial wouldn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, I think we definitely chain this.
Yeah, we definitely do. It's just what we're hitting.
When we hit Brio, we get to keep this little lock that we have on the field. Return doesn't really do much here. Like, he can make a Catastor.
He gets to make a 5. Yeah. Maybe it's DDV and he wants to return, make a Taster and DDVS.
I'm fine with that too. We have a Caius.
But he would use return regardless. So
yeah, I think we can just pop
we hit.
this Brio,
Yep,
right?
I agree.
Yeah. All right. Where is this going? I don't think he's playing Value the best that Value can be played. I'll say that.
Yeah. And unfortunately, that's a lot of Value players.
Yeah, that's the vast majority of them. It is the most
So
popular
this
deck.
Caius went through before.
Yep.
So are we summoning it again? I think so. But
we could do that. Or we could just bounce Treeborn, attack, and then Sarageki break. That's another option. But yeah, if you want to get aggressive, and just like he set himself back a turn just now, so he doesn't really have much.
Yeah, I think it's nothing. Like my intuition is that the set isn't something because he let us Caius before.
Would you
He's let
bounce
us
the
commit
swap
multiple
frog first?
monsters? Yeah, I would.
All right. All right.
Yeah. And now, like, even if he gorses us, we're fine because we have the dupe and then the rye break.
Yeah, I don't see him coming out of this from here. I think I can just pass.
I don't think either. Yeah. And that's like the other cool concept with this version of the deck is you're literally just trying to maximize seeing all your engines. I don't think we've even drawn Miracle Fusion in any of these games, but just seeing all the engines is just good enough normally.
We're just beating down value with no miracles ever. Just straight up.
Right.
We haven't even seen a hero this game. Or not a real hero anyway. Okay, well.
Speak of the devil.
Not him showing up. What did he Rhoda for, by the way?
I was not.
I wasn't paying attention. Added Armageddonite and set it. Okay. All right, guy.
He probably set something else, right?
Sure.
I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you something.
He discarded a Greffer with his Greffer last turn, so I don't know.
I'm gonna tell you right now who doesn't care.
I know.
I'm gonna tell you who does not care about any of that shit he's popping. His name is me. I am him.
And before it's a Dino.
Yo, stop.
And we're still fine if it's Dino. We have Caius.
Yeah, the Caius and
the swap stays. Dupe stays.
Yeah, like it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna attack here. So you kill these two with Dino.
Yeah, but it's probably not.
Sure.
Love seeing power cards go to the graveyard.
Same. And then we get the bounce Caius too.
Yeah.
And there you have it, gentlemen. So we brick game one, which can happen no matter what, and then we just style on them the next two games because this deck is just broken.
And we didn't hard brick, we got dust shooted, so like
our hand was
super
brick.
playable. Yeah.
Which is funny because if you were playing a mirror match, your deck would have beat your deck if they spiritual water on it
with that play.
Yeah,
right.
they would have taken the substitute. They just cook you.
No, and I will say that is another benefit to like dupe is you can like force yourself to the frog engine with that card a lot of times, whether it's setting it or crashing it or whatever.
Yeah. There's merit to like Dupe Frog obviously is still very good. People are going to eventually have to get through a Dupe Frog.
Right. And I hate to say this because I've been hyping the dupe list so much, but I'm not sure if the power is in that playing dupe list or if it's that I just really like hero frogs with water art because the way the deck plays. Like there's serious consideration to just have good math, play like maybe 42 cards or something and still be playing the dupes in the deck and stuff. So
I made a suggestion in a 10-foot video I did about dupe lists is that you could just play one dupe frog. The way you're siding into the dupe frog, you could just main deck that, and that way that gives you the option to always sub-block people, which is really strong. It also allows you to leave substitute on the field to have pressure, because that's what it does. So this will get effect. So
yeah, it's just like the big thing why I'm like an advocate for Death Frog, I guess, is that it helps some of your like slightly harder matchups because like I already feel like you have a lot of good matchups playing Hero Frogs.
Yeah.
And then decks like GBs or Blackwing that are like 50-50s or maybe slightly tougher. Death Frog's really good against both those decks. Yeah, this is a good night, Sweet Prince.
Yeah.
And he knows it too. We bounced the Caius.
Yep. He knows.
He didn't really have any choices.
Is he doing that DB thing? This is what happens on DB when you win.
The rage quit.
Yeah, a lot of people just get like really angry and then they don't want to accept losing. It's such a sad and pathetic thing too. I don't know what makes people like this. Like just accept your loss. I don't get it. So many
I agree. Yeah, another reason I prefer.
Yep. Listen,
IRL,
you'll never hear me advocating for online being better. I think online is just a different way to play the game, and it's not even the real game for many reasons. But it's a different way to just like simulate. It's a simulator, right? It's not the real game. It's a simulator. Yeah. This is the type of shit you deal with when you play on a simulator. You get weirdos like this who just like. And now he's doing a 90-second countdown.
Yeah, it's a great resource though. I like it specifically for like testing with friends and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so question: do you believe that water art is a like fad pick and maybe meta dependent, or do you think it's a card that will be here to stay for Hero Frog variants, whether in the main or side?
So Hero Frog decks have already been citing it for years, so I don't think that's like that part's not new, obviously.
It's just I would say it's not very common, even though it's been a thing.
I'm used to seeing people side what are like I've topped 4 Ultimate Time Wizards. I'm pretty sure I sided what are in 2 or 3 of them. What are is fine in the side deck. In the main deck, I still have to test it to see if I really like it, because I want to test it against GBs.
Yep.
I do not like it against GBs in theory. I do not like it against Blackwings in theory. Those 2 matchups really give me like the ick when I think about what are in my main deck. And so those are the ones, like Deep Prison is so good against GBs, like weirdly. It's just such a good card against them. It's just like a very simple 1-for-1 and it vanishes. And Water Art in that situation is just like really bad, because you never want to be clearing your monster to give them a direct attack. So I don't really care for what are in those 2 matchups. Against Blackwings, I just think that you're going to get mowed down a lot of the time. So this deck got to the finals against Blackwings at the Ultimate Time Wizard while you were playing in the RBT, and he lost to Blackwings. I wish Konami fucking streamed so I can see what happened. I wonder, like, how did Nick lose to Blackwings? Because I think the Blackwing matchup is already our hardest matchup in the format. I think it is by far our hardest matchup. Is that what you lost to in top 16, Blackwings?
In top 8, I lost to. I did lose to Blackwings. I attacked a swap into 2 back row, and it was draw trap, dust shoot. Dust shoot hit my only out to Gores, and then he dropped Gores. So.
Jeez.
And then obviously followed up with Whirlwind, normal.
Yeah.
And good night, Sweet Prince.
The Blackwing matchup, I think, is the hardest matchup by far for Hero Frogs. And I don't know if Water Art helps it or makes it worse. But in my head, I know that Deep Prison is just very good against Blackwings. Like, them just having a level 4 monster attack and get banished is so good, because there could be several turns when they don't have another one. And that happens to them all the time, because their deck is not, without Whirlwind, their deck is not the most consistent thing in terms of following specific monsters. Like, Vayu has like Rhoda and like a lot of starters, and Hero Frogs specifically have like a lot of starters. They have the most starters in the format. Blackwing's monsters are like random with what they see. Like, oh, I saw Soroko's this game and Kalut's, or I saw Blizzards and Vayu, and like I never saw anything to like make the Blizzard really good. You know, they have that problem. So
the game plan like changes for Blackwings depending on the ones you see too. It's kind of weird. Like, all right, we're aiming for a grindy game where I'm going to utilize my traps correctly, set up Blizzards. Or it's like, oh, I have Shuro Whirlwind, I'm just going to beat your face in, and like, you better stop this.
Yeah, like, I don't care what you really do. I'm just going to end you super hard. So, yeah, Water Art, I'm going to test it in the main deck. So I've been saying this a lot, too. I don't think there's really anything you could do to Hero Frogs to make it, like, bad.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're playing Heroes and Frogs and Miracle Fusions, I think your deck is going to be good by default. It's going to be better than 90% of the decks in the format, just by default. Because, like, that is so strong. So, to me, I don't think that this card like makes the deck any worse by putting it in the main deck. Like, I don't think it makes it any worse. I'm just wondering if it solves any of the problems. Your thought is, and I love your idea, your thought is, I lose to bombs, so I'm taking away your bombs and I can win the grind game.
Yep. Yeah, because I just feel like I'm going to be able to outplay a lot of people in those game states. So, and
you know all their cards. So like on that, I agree with you, because I do it all the time. But when I draw Dust Shoot, I don't lose. Like, when I draw Dust Shoot and Frogs, I do not. Those games are probably my most ignorant games. It's like you're just getting destroyed this game. Now I know you don't have Torrential, you don't have this or that. So I could see like it makes a good player even better. Like, it just makes your win rate even higher, perhaps.
Right.
I just have to test it and see, like, across the board. I like it against certain matchups. Against certain matchups, I don't. I like it going first. I don't know how I feel about it going second. We just have to see.
No, I agree completely. And it's like, it's weird too, because like Blackwings, for example, there is times it's not very good because it's just too slow.
Yeah.
But then there's times it's like, I never can like blind summon a Treeborn and normal a hero versus Blackwings. You know what I mean? Because you can't leave that up versus them. But in this variant, you can if you have Water Art. And then also it's got the unique stuff of when you're attacking into trap cards, being able to chain it because they play Battle Traps and Icarus, and like being able to kind of get the value on a play where they're trying to get value against you with an Icarus or something. Because if you had Deep Prison versus Blackwings, it's awkward too, right? Because you're either Deep Prisoning for a 1-for-1 play, or you have like a hero or a Caius up with a Deep Prison, like you said, and then they have Icarus, and you know they can chain it, or if you have subs dupe block with something, they can get value. Like, I don't know, it's definitely nice to use it as a card to make certain cards less valuable, but that's really only the argument is in that case is there if it's good, you're normally against a slower hand already, right?
Yes.
Against Black Wings. Whereas like D-Prison will stop the Shura Slam type of hands a little bit better. So yeah, that matchup's a little weird. I sided out versus them, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, that's a deck that I'm absolutely not keeping in Water Art against, because I need to make sure that I have outs to Dyna, which D-Prison is.
Right.
I need to make sure I have outs to just Shura attacking or summon big Sirocco pump and all, like, you know, all the base, like D-Prison matches up so well against their engine because they pump their guy, so now only one monster can attack, so D-Prison becomes the perfect card against that deck.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Yeah, and you know, you could argue, oh well, if you had Water Art, you could like see their hand, but it's at a cost. Water Art is not as easy to activate as a D-Prison technically, so.
Yeah, but you also don't lock yourself ever with Water Art, really, because like you're choosing when to set it, and it'll be, you only are setting it when you're having a water monster on board that turn normally. Whereas like Prison, sometimes, like you said, if you go set Caius, set D-Prison, and they can answer the Caius either with their own trap card, a Raikou, whatever it may be, now it can get really awkward really fast in the same way that like cards like Bottomless can, right? So
yeah, I will say I don't believe in people just letting my back row sit there if I'm playing Hero Frogs. If you're playing a deck that plays Raikou, like I don't think that necessarily favors them. At some point, you do have to win the game, and you're choosing to not attack me to lock my Treeborn out. But like this deck is not a tree, like Hero Frogs, as we saw in this very set, is not just a Treeborn Frog deck. Like it can do a lot without Treeborn Frog, especially if you actually draw miracles. We did it until like it didn't matter, but like if you see miracles, stuff like that, like now the D-Prison is still there, and because you never attacked, and I now have an absolute 0 up. So I think it's a little bit more nuanced than like D-Prison locking me out of the game. Like I don't really experience that often because I don't know what type of opponent I'm having where they can choose to just not attack me. What are you like waiting to try to OTK me now, like through the D-Prison? Like what's happening? You know, what's the game plan when you're not attacking the Frog player who has inevitability on every deck in the format? That I know people try to say that one. I don't really know if I agree with. Like I have a Caius in a D-Prison and they go set Raikou, I attack and they go pop the Caius and leave the D-Prison. Okay, you're playing value, pass. Like, are you just not attacking me? Like I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
Like if you're not attacking me, I am okay with that.
Yeah, but like because they play so many bombs, it gets really like obviously game state, like you said, it's very nuanced. Like game state matters, what they already have in hand. Because if they're like a return or a dad away from just going for game, because they go like, oh, I'll just deal with the back row with my MST heavy, my Caius, my whatever it may be. The turn I decide to just go all in. If you're not playing, and like if your best aggression is normal summoning a hero monster or a swap, like that's going to give me many turns. So but it's all nuanced, right? Because you don't know if it's D-Prison. If they're holding a Ride Break, now you all suddenly get super punished for playing that way.
Exactly.
Right?
Like they don't even know that it is D-Prison. That's the other thing. Like you can't possibly know that. In fact, when Hero Frog sets a back row, they're probably just thinking discard trap every time because that's what it usually is. It's higher chance that it is that. No deck is main decking triple D-Prison and Hero Frog so far. So like higher chance that it is just like something that's not D-Prison. But either way, I'm okay with those awkward game states. I think making things awkward is actually kind of fun because the better player usually navigates those situations better than the person who's not. Most value players suck, so I only have to worry about that stuff against like the upper echelon of value players who actually know when they can like choose to not attack, but also make it make sense. Because usually that shit does not make sense, and I'm happy when people stop attacking. I promise you, I'm not mad if you just stop attacking because you're afraid for me to bring back Treeborn Frog.
Yeah, the other cool thing about Water Art that I wanted to mention is you can kind of like push your opponent to play a very specific way once you've seen their hand. Like one of my matches against a value player, I resolved 2 Water Arts and I set up Dad for him, but I had applied pressure to the board as well with hero cards. So I forced him into, like, I discarded other darks from his hand to put him at 3. So I made it so he couldn't summon the Arma in his hand. Otherwise, he'd go to 4. And if he does, he has to stack the Dad in hand to go for a Plague play. And I have Brain in hand the whole time. And I have 2 darks already engraved. So I was just like, summon your Dad, because as soon as you do, I win the game.
Yeah, that
I was trying to push him to it.
Yeah, goad people into making the bad play. I did something very similar to Oscar in the finals of Indy last year. I told this story before, but I'll just say it again to kind of end off this video. So I went first. I summoned Stratos. I set Mirror Force and Dust Shoot. I Dust Shoot him. His hand is like Greffer, Raikou, Sirocco, Burial, Upstart Goblin, and something else. So I choose to put back the Raikou because he very blatantly has a Greffer pitch play. I have Mirror Force set.
Right.
So I'm like, I want you to do exactly what I like. There's a chance that you could just go Sirocco attack, and then that would kind of suck because then I don't know if I want to Mirror Force a Sirocco in a hand where he has Greffer plus Rhoda, because Rhoda gets a Necro Gardener and he could just go like next turn summon, and then pitch, and then like things start to get weird. But I was like, I give him a chance to go balls to the wall. So I put back the Raikou. He goes shuffle deck, play Upstart Goblin, give me 1,000, and then he goes summon Greffer, pitch, make Arm Wing, attack, and I Mirror Force him. And honestly, the game ended right there. Turn 1.
Yep.
Like it literally ended right there. And like, I don't think he did anything wrong. Like he just played with his hand. Like he played with the hand that I left him did. And he had Burial too, so it wasn't like the worst thing either. Like he ran into a Mirror Force, but then he has Burial. And I ended up winning game 1 just like off of that alone. Like that by itself won the game. Setting Mirror Force, Dust Shoot, making your opponent play into a Mirror Force basically. I didn't give him the option to set a Raikou. Because like that's the play that I didn't want him to do. Like setting a Raikou was like so annoying to what I had. Because then I would have to tribute my I don't even know if I had a Monarch. I don't think I did, but I would have had to tribute for a Monarch to deal with the Raikou, and I didn't want to do that.
You couldn't set your battle trap against the Raikou. Yeah, no, for sure.
Right. So it just like I agree. Like sometimes Water Art can be the linchpin that I make you play a certain way, and I already have the answer to your play, and I like that a lot. We'll see what happens. I'm not opposed to it. I don't think it's like the worst thing ever. I could just see it being bad in certain scenarios, but you could make that case for every single card in the format. So it's like, is the juice worth the squeeze? Let us know what you guys think in the comments. Thank you again, Marcus, for coming on the channel again. And good luck in future tournaments. I'm still rooting for you to get a win this year. You've topped 3 tournaments already. You're one of the people who is definitely one of the best players in the format who just doesn't have that win yet. So I'm rooting for you, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.